What's up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is May 1st, 2020, and we are back at again for our market profit recap and market insight session. So hope you guys are well. April flew by pretty quickly compared to March, but we're on to a new month, a new monthly candle. So pretty cool. Before we start today's session and get into the juicy details, I do want to do some admin stuff as always. So first of all, if you aren't on our Discord, our community discussion is the place to be if you're a free member. We also have a lot of stuff for the premium guys, trade talk majors and minors. Obviously, our providers, we have a lot of signal providers and analysts, excluding myself. And so a lot of content there. And if you want to join, it's completely free. The link to sign up is in the description of this video. And get on there, chat with a few traders. You can even see some of the gains that people have made just through our content and taking trades on their own. Institute Trader has been killing it. And talking about Institute Trader, our Smart FX MAM program is ready to go. So if you're interested in getting started, just email support@forexlens.com to proceed. Also on the horizon is his signal service and his mentorship. So that's in the works. It'll be out very soon. But yeah, he's definitely killing it, and he gives you a new perspective on trading, which is a bit different from the retail theory that we all know. The thing is, you can join his Telegram. We have provided that to you, so you can get an insight on how he trades. The link to join is in the description of this video as well. So I highly suggest you go over his trades that he took this week on his Telegram. Over the weekend, just go over the trades he took and the analysis he's trying to show, and really get a grasp on what there is to learn. A lot of secretive stuff is there. It's not really a wide known concept, but it definitely works. So we'll keep you updated, but those are the updates. And I also want to thank and congratulate the leaders for our Me6 kind of program. So for the top 10 contributors on our Discord for the month are here. The top 3 were Jess, Jay Trades, and Airedale. So congrats, guys. And everyone from the top 10 and even the runner-ups got added free days to their membership. So people like Jess got 10 days, people like Jay got 10 days, and Airedale got 7 days. So if you were one of these members and you still haven't gotten your 8 days added, or you didn't get a message about it, just message Allison on Discord, and she'll make sure those days are added. But congrats, guys. New month, so whoever didn't make it top 10 or runner-up and wants to, make sure you give it your best shot, because Jess will give you your run for your money. She's really active, so congratulations, Jess. And if you're a free member, join the Discord. It's a fun place to be. We're not always serious. We definitely share some jokes and laughs. It's good to always refresh the mind. It's a place to be if you're a trader. Now, moving on to this week's trades. And while I go through this, people that are watching YouTube, I think it'll probably be a lot of people. If you have any questions or comments, just send them through and I'll answer them as I go through the session. So I'm just going to go over the few trades we took this week. This week was definitely a bounce back week from last week. Last week wasn't too spectacular. We're being transparent and honest, but this week was a complete 180. We had 0 losing trades, and it was just a fabulous week. And so I'll go over the trades that we took and the signals that were called. So Euro Aussie was the first trade we took. And actually last week when we took this trade, we actually got stopped out. We went short here. We got stopped out here by around 14 pips before this thing actually melted. Or actually, it was up here. My apologies. So it was up here. We were trying to go short, and we got stopped out by 13 pips, and this thing melted. And so Monday when I saw that, I knew that because of the current sentiment in the market and the volatility, our stops have to be a bit bigger for these deep, nonchalant, not really needed retracements before big moves happen. So we took that kind of methodology and kind of changed to our trading strategy this week, and everything was perfect. So we entered short for Euro Aussie twice. We got this first down move, and then we got our partial position got stopped at an entry, and then I saw another point to go short again here, and then we got another entry again. So around 110 pips from one pair, which is fantastic. You see our final target was hit, and then you see price rebound. So our stop loss and take profits are chosen very methodically. There's a whole kind of thought that goes behind this. It's not just random numbers, but that was a pretty good trade. Another awesome trade was pound Aussie. Now this trade I didn't get to take, and any trade that I don't take, I don't use in our pip count. I just don't think it's fair. But this was very similar to Euro Aussie, and we analyzed it on Monday. It was part of my negligence. I was just a bit busy with stuff, but I did get the alert. Basically, it was the same idea, and you can see the short. We were just waiting for a simple 4-hour bearish closure. You can see we got it. Nice body candle, and the more important thing is the wicks. Oops. Look at the wicks. The wick for this candle, the top wick is longer than the bottom, which is perfect. And then you just trickle down. Very simple trade setup. If you just took these 2 trades, your week would have been set. You wouldn't have to trade it again. So you just measure this movement around 140 pips. I missed this, but I'm happy I caught USD CAD yesterday. So another setup that was given for members that were, the chart work was sent. Trading the alert was given, and all you have to do is when the alert goes ping, you check the closure on the 4-hour. If it's bearish, you enter the trade based on what I give you, and it went around 75% to our final target. But we like to secure profits as we go down because these type of movements to the upside can happen. So that was pretty good. And then we also had an intraday trade for pound yen. And this trade took maybe a minute to analyze, really. It took a minute to analyze, and it took actually longer to type out the signal than analyze this trade. This is just basic technical analysis you'll learn when you first start trading. You see this is a doji candle, a bullish doji, 4-hour support. That's all I needed to see to take us long. We went long, entry 132.626, our final TP 134.320. And we had a nice rise up, a push up to our second take profit, a minor retrace, and then we launched to our final target and then some. But nonetheless, we caught a pretty simple move that took, a day. Around 70 pips for a day is fantastic. So it doesn't matter how long the analysis takes, as long as it confirms with your strategy, take it. So we had a pretty good R2R on it too, 2.34, not bad at all. Pound yen has really jumped up these past few days. As pound dollar did as well, with the dollar printing bearish unemployment claims. But anyways, it has run into this kind of consolidation zone which we spoke of yesterday, and since then you could have even taken a short if this thing closed below support. But pretty solid setup. Now USD CAD, we got entry, technically entry near at the end of the day, but I waited till Aussie because the spreads, my broker spreads tend to be wide until around 7 to 8 p.m. But again, I'll show you the chart work that I always send. So each trade is sent with the chart work and simple instructions. If you follow them and you do your due diligence, the sky's the limit. So yesterday we said USD CAD, there's 2 plans, right? 4-hour reaction is bullish, you go long. 4-hour reaction bearish below support 1.38 to 500, you go short. Very simple concept. I know this is on the daily time frame, but this was just to show you the 2 scenarios based on the daily support. And so if we go to the daily support, you can see why I did the idea off the daily. The last time we kind of broke this intraday level over here, USD CAD broke it. It trickled down to this level, and then it had a huge rebound. And I told members in the live session yesterday, this reaction from this level, this huge daily candle in the past, this type of movement can be replicated if we get a bullish reaction on the 4-hour time frame, right? And you can see it's almost an identical move, right? This candle, and if you combine these 2 candles, obviously this happened in one go, but nonetheless, the move is almost the same in size, maybe a difference of 15 to 20 pips. That's all it takes. You just watch the price action, and then at 4 o'clock, so at the market closure, we actually had the closure 4-hour above the support bullish, right? You can see 4-hour bullish, we enter long. We had a bullish hammer, we had another bullish candle, and then we had another bullish hammer off this support. But the spread was way too high for me, so I waited till 8 p.m. and went long, and yeah, so I got around 33 pips since I was going to sleep, but it went actually quite a bit more. So very simple. This is how you're going to learn how to trade on your own, and just follow simple criteria. Again, a possible 140 pips, but I was satisfied with 30. I actually entered gold long this morning. it worked out well too, but I didn't call the trade because the risk to reward wasn't fantastic, but I knew it was going to go up. So I had a pretty good week. You don't have to catch all the pips. I don't. I usually catch, whatever the pip count is. I think this week is going to be around 270 or 250. I think I probably caught 120, 130. And that's all you really need, to be honest, especially when you're not really holding things through commission, swaps, or terrible spreads. 120 pips is plenty. So, if you feel bad that you missed a certain trade or you didn't get in on it, that's the story of my life. I don't either. I'm in the East Coast, and a lot of times the markets tend to move during London. But as long as you get the entry and you get some profits, that's all that matters. Because you have to remember, only 95% of traders make profits. So if you're the 5% that's consistently making profits, be grateful. Don't get greedy, because you're one of the select few that's even showing a balance in your account. That's pretty much the week. There is Aussie yen. I'll talk about it since I didn't really want to go over all the setups. I wanted to answer questions. But, we had a swing long, right? You can see the signal here. So sell at this was supposed to be a buy. I changed it on Discord, but I left it on the chart. Nonetheless, it was a buy signal, and you can see our first take profit was 69.840, just because we had some support there. We went pretty deep. We went around, I think, just short of 50 pips, right? Our entry was 69.650. We went as high as 7.170 area, right? So around 50 pips and change. Since then, Aussie yen has reverted back, and technically it would have stopped this out, but this is what we do at Forex Lens. And what I like to do is, once we hit TP1 or we hit 25 pips of profit, we always close half our position and move stops to entry. Okay, that way, if you, for example, if you do the math, if you calculate 25 pips a day, right, that's good profit. I mean, if you just consider it, or week in, week out, you get your 25 pips a day. 125 pips a week is nothing to scoff at. So I put value in securing those 25 pips in case wild moves like this happen. You know that, hey, you got some profit. It's okay if your partial position got stopped out at entry. And so that's what happened. We went up, and then our partial position got stopped out. And then yesterday I'm like, okay, Aussie yen has popped back above this kind of resistance. If it's a 4-hour bullish closure, we'll definitely enter long. If not, then fine, right? We're done with this trade anyways. And so obviously you can see we didn't get a 4-hour bullish closure above this level. We had a wick, and then we had a sell-off. So it's all about patience. Now another potential setup we had yesterday was USD yen. It was a bit too volatile to get a real entry. But again, we were looking for a 4-hour bullish closure above to go long. Now this candle is not bullish. I mean, it is bullish technically because it's a white candle, but when we say bullish and bearish, we want candles that, for example, bullish candles should either be big bodies with very little wicks at the top, or bullish hammers. So this is not, because this is the long way to the top, very short to the bottom. Again, this is not long way to the top, short way to the bottom. Again, this is not long way to the top, short way to the bottom. And that's why you didn't get the full move up. If these candles had bigger bodies with less wicks to the top, I'm pretty sure this move would have been fulfilled. But we didn't have that, so this trade went, went considerably high due to the volatility yesterday, but then it reverted back. So this is why we were patient and we're picky about the trades we take, but it's all about discipline. And yeah, so I think that covers pretty much all the setups we took / analyzed this week. There may be a few left out. For example, U.S. oil, we were looking for maybe going long, but again, if our entry criteria is not met, we don't go long. So U.S. oil, if you look at my instructions, 4-hour bullish closure above 1850 is required. If you go to the charts, you can see 1850, zero bullish closure above. Oh, actually there was. So what happened was, during yesterday's session, we were here and the volatility spiked up near 1850, but I wasn't sure that this candle was the best candle to enter in, and you can see why. Just a huge wick, so I didn't get any of us to enter in. But what happened over the course of a few hours is it trickled in and around stop loss before making one last attempt to maybe 2030. So simple strategy using price action, and it's kind of reactions around support and resistance, but also around key psychological levels. So that's pretty much the week summed up. For the members that are on Discord, I'm going to chat in user requested TA and get you guys to send your pair recommendations there. For people on YouTube, I'll answer these things as I go. the weather is getting warmer here. I think in Canada, I mean, last week it was snowing, believe it or not. So it's good to see summer finally here. Morning, morning KJ, morning Justin. All winning trade weeks feel good. Yeah, they do. What's up, Big G Dub? So any pair recommendations or questions you want to answer trading related, let me know. In the meantime, I'll open up my Coke. So while you guys think about that, I'll talk about the gold. Why I went gold long. Very simple. I actually even clean up the chart. Let me try to find a naked chart for gold. Okay, so I was on my phone. I woke up. I was making coffee, and what I do is actually take mini coffee shots. I make like 20 milliliters of coffee that's like really thick, and I just swallow it at once. But I was on my phone this morning, and I woke up and I saw gold, and it was at support like this, and I'm like, I gotta take the long. I have to take the long. Even though we had manufacturing this morning come up better than expected, at 8 a.m. this result wasn't out, and it was forecasted to be bearish. So I was like, okay. So I took the long at 16.81. I had a TP of 16.85, and then I went again for I think 16.93. But it was just based off simple support, really. If you look at this, if you extend it over, you can see a huge resistance here. Wicks here, a lot of wicks here as support, and then here we have it. So this morning I saw this reaction. I'm like, okay, it's worth to take it to some 50 pip gain, and that's it. Very simple. I mean, you can do this strategy in your bed once you realize where your levels are. If I just plot these levels, you will see the overall range that gold is in. And we know yesterday the U.S. dollar printed bearish unemployment claims, right? So if you go over here, unemployment claims, 3.84 million people filed for unemployment when the forecast was 3.5. Okay, so it's obviously bad for the dollar. And so with that in mind, I'm like, okay, you know what? The 4 hour looks pretty good. And if you look at the 1 hour, we were printing a lot of hammers. You can see a lot of hammers. And then this candle pretty much sealed the deal for me at 8 a.m. Where I'm like, okay, we can maybe make a mini run to the upside. And so that's what we're trying to achieve here, is kind of get you guys taking trades on your own, making those calls, but very solid. So I probably made a nice chunk of my profits for the week this morning in less than 5 minutes. So pretty decent for gold. I think if you go back to the 4 hour time frame, oops. You can see why the R2R isn't ideal. I mean, it's still above or close to 2.0, but entering right now wouldn't be ideal for longs. But the overall idea is still there. You can see this move right here, from here to here, we're trying to replicate that. Now what I'd wait for is probably gold to sneak above this kind of intraday support slash resistance. Right, we have a lot of resistance, a lot of wicks in around this area. We also have used as support, and that level is 16.95 flats, right? So if we do pop above 16.95, what we can do is cut our stop loss in half. So if we get a closure somewhere here, right, we'll make our stop loss in between the range between this and this range, and now we have a 2.27 R2R, and our stop loss isn't too big, right? So if price comes up here, but for some reason comes down in this area, then it's probably headed lower. But as long as it stays above, then it should go to make new highs. So that's a potential setup I see for next week for gold. As the dollar becomes more and more bearish, with the targets of 17.13 and then 17.36 in mind. That's my idea, and I usually enter these setups on Monday. I don't like to trade Sundays, but if you're willing to take that sort of gamble and trade Sundays, then go ahead and wait for that. But I want a 4 hour closure above this level. More importantly, I'll put an alert, and that's where I want the closure. So let's say 1697.27 crossing up. Now we may have this by the end of the day, which is fine. I don't enter trades on Friday unless it's really early in the day and I'm out. But for next week, Monday, we'll be looking for this alert to be pinged, crossing up on the 4-hour time frame. Awesome. Big G Dub also caught gold. Yeah, very simple. I mean, really. Where are my members today? Where are they? Someone asked, do we accept Bitcoin? We do for memberships longer than 3 months. If you're looking to pay in Bitcoin, just message chatroom admin or Allison on Discord and they'll take care of you. So gold potential long. So I'm gonna save this and I'll send it through on Discord. Let us see what it has. A lot of stuff can happen over the weekend in terms of fundamentals, but I think gold will eventually make its way back up. Now Euro USD, this thing has just been completely launching, and that's pretty much attributed to the unemployment claims. The dollar, I mean, they have pumped, I think, over 4 trillion in stimulus packages and relief to the COVID-19 stuff. I mean, they have pumped out a lot of money. So has Canada, so has a lot of nations, and I think this thing, even if it may end in a month or 5 months or 12 months, 18 months from now, the footprints it leaves is going to be there for at least 5 years. The economic impact for 5 years, we'll feel this, where we're like, wow, we're still paying back the stimulus packages from 5 years ago because of that virus. So it's pretty crazy, but Euro is taking advantage of the dollar right now. It's actually cleared previous highs, and I think we could shift our bias to longs. I mean, this morning it just completely shot up, even though the manufacturing data came up better than expected for the dollar. So usually when this USD manufacturing is better than expected or is green, you would see the euro melt. But in this case, it could care less, zero regard for that release. Now if we just pop to the daily, you can kind of see where it's trying to go. So definitely attaching our target to this high is key. But if we do clear this high, the last time around when we came from the support, euro dollar went all the way to 1.14500. Now this support is very simple. I mean, technically you could have had many setups from the support. So this is where we established support here with this rally. Next time around we break above this level, we had a pretty good size rally. Again, we come here, we have a rally. Again, we come here, we have a rally. So I mean, really, you just have to watch the reaction at support and resistance. If it shows you signs of reversal or respect, take the trade, and make sure your R2R is ideal. So next up, I think the next level is going to be around this high, I think at 1.10300, 20 pips away. So if on Monday we're above this level, looking bullish, we'll take our sights to 1.11300. So a sweet 100 pips for intraday setup, and then everything else beyond that will be kind of swing oriented. But Euro USD can haul its butt when it wants to. I mean, this week it took 3 days to move 150 pips, so it can do that. But it's pretty interesting. We have a long-term 2020 target of 1.05300 for euro, and we came pretty close a few times. But I think we're going to take a minor relief and trip away from that goal just for now. I mean, we still have 3 more quarters left, so anything can happen. But for now, I'm looking for longs, especially Monday when we have another free session. We'll be looking to enter long for euro. But that support, that 1.0800 support is just clutch, holding it down for euro. So we just did EU, so thank God I did EU. What pair should I look at next? I'm looking at pound dollar, just to see. So pound dollar, pretty cool that this thing hasn't really gone too far. It ran into some major resistance, and yesterday we were thinking that, hey, if this thing can make highs above this level, then maybe we'll go long. But it has rejected that resistance pretty well, and it's provided us our pretty much the best setup we can have. And we've taken these trades time and time again. And so what we do is usually when something comes off resistance, we'll look for support. The last time it has come to resistance. So for example, this thing went to resistance here. It's come down here, right? You can see in and around this area we had some previous resistance / support. If I just pull it back, right? So support here, resistance, support, and then support here, right? So if you see this type of price action, you can kind of see we're coming up here. This is an area where price might stall its sell-off, and that's an area where we would be looking for shorts, right? So if we get a break of this area right here, we're probably headed lower. And so that's my idea going into next week, is looking for a 4-hour break of 1.25, 150 on the 4-hour time frame. We'll take the short down to this level, and if pound dollar can give us a ride all the way down here, that'd be great. But the dollar isn't too strong right now against some pairs more than others, so for now we should just target a nice intraday level like this, keep our stop loss in between the two ranges, and we have a close to a 2.0 R to R setup. So this is fine and dandy, and overall the payoff for this trade is around 80 pips. So again, so based on intraday, you can see gold is just hauling right now. It's just trucking away, going to the upside, activating alerts while we go live. But you can't beat technicals plus fundamentals. It's unmatched. No indicator can compete with technicals. Importantly, price action and fundamentals. No way. Gold is just going going mad. But anyways, so I think I'd wait for a 4-hour closure Monday session during New York to take potential shorts, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I think over the weekend we'll probably know more about the European Union stance on reopening the economy. I know we know a lot about Canada and America, but I haven't heard much from Europe about whether they're going to reopen anytime soon. So if we know more about that, that'll tell us more about pound, dollar, euro. But with ECB out of the way, I think we'll have more clarity, and the euro is looking bullish. So Chance the Singer, that name's nice. That's your EU kind of bias for the week and analysis. Let's take a look at gold again. Absolutely mad. Absolutely going out of its crazy mind. Look at this thing. So yesterday we had a potential to long because we were showing some support here. Obviously we didn't get a 4-hour closure above this level to go long, but right now this thing is trucking. My goodness. You love to see it. So any other pair recommendations, let me know. Otherwise, I'll send in the coupon code so you can join our live session. So if you enjoyed today's live session and you're interested in becoming a member from Monday through Friday, not just Monday and Friday, and you want access to not just my live sessions, but full access on Discord, to all our signal providers, as well as Institute Trader, Pipsology, Elliott Wave, Genius Ben, all these providers. I think we have around 10 plus traders giving content day in and day out. If you want to take advantage, we actually have a 50% off promotion right now. What that means is all you have to do is go to forexlens.com. When you go to the website, go to Forex Trading Room and then click Get Started. Click Get Full Access, and what you do is you fill out this quick little form. It'll take a minute. When you click Next, there'll be a section called Enter a Coupon Code, and you'll enter this coupon code. Come on, TradingView. First 50, all capitals, and it is 50. The number 0, not O, number 0. All capital, first 50. You apply that when you hit next, enter your promo code, and you'll get your first month for only $48.50, which is a pretty good steal. So hopefully I see some new faces next week. If you're still on the fence about joining, check out our Discord, check out Institute Traders Telegram. The link's in the description. And we also have a free session on Monday. So if you're still on the fence again after all of that, I understand, you might be a picky consumer. Wait for Monday's session, watch us again, watch the magic, and then you can make your decision then. So the feed is currently, I think, like a minute behind, based on just YouTube's relay and what I say. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I'm just gonna ask any last minute pair recommendations or trading related questions. Let me know, or forever hold your peace. So let me know. I'll wait a few minutes so that message comes through. How are you guys managing this lockdown, by the way? Going crazy here. Alright, awesome. So we got one more pair recommendation. FX Bruff's account is up 4%. I'm good. But can we see Euro NZD? Sure. That's awesome. Yeah. That's what happens when you you have a good week. Your account grows. I'm glad you had a great week. Euro NZD. What is this? I believe we discussed this week too. Euro NZD. Here we go. What broker was it? FXCM. Here you go. 1 hour time frame. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. So we had two scenarios for Euro NZD, and I talked about this in yesterday's session. So we had plan 1, which is 1 hour bullish closure above 1.7800 required, right? And this is a long idea. This is plan 1 for FXCM. So 1 hour bullish closure above 1.7800. Plan 2 was 1 hour bearish closure off resistance to short. So this resistance we had on the 4 hour time frame, you got a rejection, you go short. And lo and behold, what happened? Our first plan happened. So this candle wasn't bullish, but this candle was, and then this candle was, right? So all we need, it doesn't have to be the next candle. It just has to be any candle after to show you signs of buyers, right? So this candle was kind of indecision, but this candle was perfect, a nice bullish hammer. This one was perfect, another bullish hammer. This one was perfect, another bullish hammer. You can see Euro NZD, holy my goodness, it went, wow. That that thing rocketed. Wow. See, so again, I won't use this in the pip count, but the setup was given clear as day in our trading room. 4 hour bullish. That's all it requires. 1 hour bullish closure above 1.78000. I mean, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chances of getting in long somewhere, right? I mean, we had a target of 1.8872, and we went. That was right around here. We actually went quite some more than that. 1.78 actually right around this level. So we actually went a lot more than that, but again, that was supposed to be an intraday setup. So just follow simple instructions, right? If this is a bullish closure, just wait for the next one. This is an indecision candle. Okay, cool. Now you have your bullish confirmation candle on this bullish hammer. You enter long, and the rest is history. So pretty cool. But wow, this thing just launched. That is actually crazy to see. I mean, look at the daily candle here. My goodness gracious. You love to see it. Okay, here we go. We got a lot of questions coming in. Okay, I didn't get your notification, Marco. That's weird. My fault. My fault, brother. Pound CHF for sure. So Euro NZD. What a beautiful trade. Whoever caught it. Pound CHF. Oh, so here we go, Marco. I think you were asking me about this pair a lot, and very simple. This is actually cool. Whoops. It's actually pretty cool. So if you look, earlier in the week we were up here going to resistance, and I said if we get signs of rejection, we can go short, right? We didn't get signs of rejection. We got a bearish hammer, a bearish hammer. You don't short on bearish hammers, and you had a huge push to the upside. Price came back down, and I'm saying, okay, there's a chance that it should go down here. After a minor retracement, it did go around 70% to around this level, and then price pulled back up after printing a bullish hammer, stayed in and around above support, and then finally this thing trickled down. So for us, and last time we were looking at potential shorts, let me actually dig it up. It's pretty much a similar setup, just a different date. Where's pound CHF? Here we go, pound CHF, right? This was on April 24, 2020. 4-hour bearish closure below 1.20150 required, right? Now if we look, our trading view alert is still there for that potential trade setup. It's at 1.20119. And this trade idea can be back in play. So Marco, that if you have that chart from the 24th of April, pull it up. If not, it's there on Discord. But basically, our alert is still here, still breathing, and we want a 4-hour bearish closure below this level, 1.20150 area, ideally at our alert. And what we want to do is replicate this short move down to this target area, like we've have done in the past numerous times, right? So that's what we're looking for. Thank you for reminding me about pound CHF. Definitely a setup that we can take again. So our closure will be somewhere here. Our stop loss will be halfway in between this range and this range. And you have a 2.6 R to R setup. So that is that. So again, bearish closure, for example, this is not a bearish closure, this is a bearish hammer. Right, I would not enter, and this is why I don't use pending orders, because if you had your pending order, for example, here, right, actually right where our alert is, let's say right where our alert is, right, you have a pending order, it gets activated, and then next thing you know, boom, you get stopped out. It's not a good time. What you have to wait for is the alert to get activated. I tell people the exact alert, 1.20119. And you can be like, okay, well, RP, we did have this bearish closure below the support. I'll be like, yeah, it is a bearish closure. It's an inverted hammer. But since it's so close to the support, and we think of support and resistance as zones, we want this candle ideally to go a bit below that support to show it's an actual break and not something as a fake out or something that's flirting to break, right? So if a candle closes all the way down here, the candle closes all the way down here, then that tells me there's actual momentum to take it down. However, if it's at support and it closes like just a bit below, that's not good enough for me, right? It needs to actually close deep within this kind of range we're targeting, right? And so that's why my alert is set at this particular level, okay? And that's all you have to watch for. Just read the price action, because sometimes price won't respect support and resistance at a particular level. For example, here we have that support, right? And you can see wicks have gone deep within it, but the bodies have stayed above. Now you can see we have this bullish candle. There's actually a gap down bearish candle that peaked below, and so some members might think, okay, I might start taking shorts, but this thing needs to go deeper than that. At least show you that there's momentum taking it down, because afterwards this thing just popped back above. So just a clear reminder that you have to read the price action, otherwise you're going to get burnt. You have to, and it doesn't take too long. Once you put the alert, you get a notification on your phone or your desktop. You check your charts. Is it a bearish closure? Check mark. Okay, enter. Is it not? All right, wait. Set another alert. It takes literally a minute, and the rest is just managing the trade, right? So again, the more you put, and this goes into anything in life, the more effort or just attention you put into something, the more it's going to give back. Negligence and being ignorant is never going to give you anything. So it goes the same for trading, but again, that's the setup. We'll send it through again just to remind everyone, so they don't have to dig through the old charts. But pound CHF short. Next up, we have Aussie dollar. Oh yeah, Aussie. So you had a long bias for this trade as well on Monday. I didn't get an entry, and I don't think any of us really did, because this thing was just rocketing without giving us a chance to enter. Right, so Aussie dollar, I'm starting to think we could sell this thing next week. So you can see our potential short idea again. We have a pending alert, and so I'm going to remove this idea. So you can kind of see what we're going to be targeting for Aussie dollar this week. And I said, you know, the euro is gaining against the dollar, but the pound is losing against the dollar, and so is the Aussie. So that's pretty interesting. But if I just, I'm going to remove this previous support zone, you can kind of see the level we're trying to target. We're trying to target this trading range right here, which we have entered, right? Price has entered this kind of blue box. And so usually when you enter a trading range, right, and you have momentum, you can clearly see we have clear sellers selling momentum. There's obviously a trend shift. I would not consider this a continuation of a high. You can even see, you know, price action, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then this higher low has cleared out the previous low, right? It actually went lower. So it's a clear trend reversal. We have momentum. Now we've entered this trading range from this level to this level, right? So whenever we've entered from here, we have an obligation to go to the top of here. When we come here, we have obligation to go to the top to the bottom of here. When we're here, we have obligation to go here. We can see this time around we went around 70% of the way there. Now you might complain about that, but 70% of this move is a lot of pips. It's around 100 pips. I don't think anyone's going to complain about a 100 pip move to the upside, right? Again, so we come here and we look for reactions. You don't just buy off support, you look for reactions. When we came to the support, we got 0 reactions to buy. No hammers, no bullish candles. That's where we broke down and we went to the secondary support. We finally had signs of buyers, and then we had a bullish engulfing candle off the support right here. And then the rest is history. We went to around 70% of the way up there before finally reaching the top of that range. So the same thing applies here. If we close bearish on the 4-hour time frame on Monday, we will take a short for this down with a hopeful target of the bottom of this range. That's the simple concept, and it doesn't matter if we get 50% of the way there, 60 or 70. That's a lot of pips to get for following a simple concept. So right now the 4-hour candle, if we look at it, just looking at the price action, the past, I mean, this is not really a good sign because it does tell me there's buyers there, but you can look at the past. Ignore this candle for now. This is a bearish hammer, right? Long way to the bottom, short to the bottom. Again, this is a bearish hammer, longer way to the bottom than the top. Again, bearish hammer, longer way to the bottom than the top. Again, bearish hammer, longer way to the again, and then again you have this same thing. So that tells me there's still buyers, either closing some positions but holding on. But hopefully we eradicate these buyers over the weekend. During today's market closure, the people that were in buys say, okay, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses short for Aussie, and then we should start seeing some big-bodied candles. Candles like this, candles like this come into play. So that's what we'll see right now. The current 4-hour candle is a bit of a, it's an inverted hammer, but still an indecision type of way. It could close either way, depending on the next hour and 10 minutes, but we'll see. So Aussie dollar, to keep your analysis short. We'll talk about Monday, but I'm looking for shorts. Right, and you can see the R2R 2.91, which is fantastic. It's fantastic. So I'll send this in on Monday. I'll send it in now. Why not? But on Monday we'll take another peek at this. Just remind me. But I'll send an alert regardless. All right, one more CAD yen. Let's take a look at CAD yen. So we actually gave a potential setup yesterday for CAD yen, and this thing just wicked. And ooh, perfect. This thing has. Look at CAD yen. So again, this was a setup given yesterday, I believe. And the 4-hour closure before the session began, it was a bit spooky because it was just a huge wick. But now it's filled out that wick. Where is CAD yen? 27th, right? On the 27th, so technically 2.5 days ago. 4-hour bearish closure below 76.00 required for shorts. Now, if we go to that 76.000 level, you can see here it is 76.00. We want a 4-hour bearish closure, right? And you can see this bearish candle has eaten into our profits considerably. Usually, you want the 4-hour closure to be closer to this level, so your R2R is intact. But Marco, if you're already short, I think the target we still have in mind is 75.336. I just want to slide this over. But that is the overall idea. It's unfortunate because at the beginning of the session, this thing was a wick, but it closed off pretty quickly. Look at the 1 hour. This is the candle I saw. This one right here. But this next candle follows suit, and is going to go short. So sometimes when you do wait for the 4-hour closures, you might miss the move per se. I mean, you can technically still grab it if you want, but it's into the profits quite a bit. But that 4-hour closure will prevent you from a lot of headaches than it will from heartaches. So trust me on that. That 4-hour closure is key. But it's nice to see that we had the right bias, and that was short for CAD yen. And just off the daily time frame, this previous wick area would be the target in my mind. So that's perfect. So I think that's good. We're right under an hour. And so Monday we'll be holding another live session. Again, if you enjoyed this session and you want to get in, I'll quickly put that coupon code FIRST50 and you use it here. forexlens.com. Go to trading room, click get started, fill this out, click next, add a coupon code FIRST50. So next week's gonna be a pretty fun one. It's NFP week, and we've been actually pretty good in NFP week for quite some time now, except for some rare occurrences. But I think it's gonna be a good one. We have some solid setups identified, and I can't wait. So join the Discord. The link to sign up is in the description below. Check out ICT's Telegram. The link to join up is in the description below as well. And Pound CHF has just activated its alert. Let's take a look. My oh my, we might have an entry. I don't enter trades Friday, but oh my goodness, Marco, you are a man of magic. As soon as you mention a trade that you want me to look at, this thing always peaks its alerts. So Marco, if you enter trade Sunday, I mean, watch out for this 4-hour closure. If it can stay bearish down below, our 1.20150 level, it should be good for shorts. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Please be safe. Peace and happy trading.